An 8-year-old girl left home for a lesson but never returned. Then came the end no one wanted and the betrayal no one imagined. On August 21, 2024, a wave of panic and anguish gripped the quiet village of Tapsampe in Diyarbakir province, Turkey. It was a routine day that turned into a nightmare. Narin Guran, a girl only 8 years old, lived a life rooted in the traditions of her community. Her daily life, like that of many children in the region, included lessons at the Quran school, a place of religious and spiritual formation. As is well known, the Quran is the holy book of Islam, and its study is essential in the education of many Turkish families. Narin Guran had attended her lesson and, when it was over, began the short journey back home. However, the hours passed, and she did not arrive. Worry grew in the Guran family's chest, a knot growing tighter with each passing minute of silence. After Narin disappeared, the Guran family searched on their own for several hours. It was her father, Arif Guran, who finally went to local authorities to report her missing, triggering one of the most intense search operations the region had seen in years. The community quickly mobilized, and the case went viral on social media, especially on X, where posts from family members and neighbors pleaded for help in finding the girl. Narin's story transcended the borders of Diyarbakir, capturing the attention of all of Turkey. Narin's mother, Yüksel Guran, and her older brother, Baran Guran, actively participated in the public efforts, appearing in the media with anguished faces that moved the nation. Personalities such as Turkish singer Ibrahim Tatlıses made public calls on television to help in the search, while the national press broadcast live reports from the village, keeping the case focused on the case for nearly 3 weeks. Narin's uncle, Salim Guran, who was also the village chief, took a visible role in the search operations. For 19 days, search and rescue teams were deployed, including gendarmes, sniffer dog units, drones, and helicopters. The cornfields, ravines, and the Egertudum stream in Tapsampe were meticulously combed, but the earth seemed to have swallowed the little girl. During those agonizing days, Yüksel Guran's mother appeared before the cameras in deep pain. "My heart is breaking," she said, clutching her daughter's belongings. Arif Guran, the father, also appeared devastated, pleading with the country not to forget his little girl. Baran, with tears in his eyes, shared desperate pleas on social media, clinging to the hope of a miracle to find his younger sister. That suffering mobilized all of Turkey. On September 8, the search came to an end in the saddest and most macabre way. Narin's body was found approximately 2 kilometers from the village in the bed of the Egertudum stream by search teams working tirelessly in the area. To avoid discovery, the girl had been deliberately hidden. The body, inside a fertilizer sack, had been submerged in the stream water. To prevent it from floating, large rocks were placed on top of the sack. This attempt was made to conceal the body, blending in with the natural appearance of the riverbed. The discovery not only ended the desperate search but also transformed the case into a homicide investigation. The forensic report from the Turkish Institute of Forensic Medicine corroborated the brutality of the incident. It determined that Narin was murdered the same day she disappeared. The cause of death was asphyxiation, caused by an obstruction in her mouth and nose with pressure exerted on her neck. The forensic report also revealed a chilling detail. The girl's left leg had been severed by animal activity after her death, a detail that ruled out additional mutilation by the killer. So, who could have committed such a heinous act against such a young child? Could the culprit be closer than anyone suspected? Perhaps someone Narin trusted implicitly. These questions kept all of Turkey on tenterhooks, their hearts in a frenzy, as everyone desperately sought answers about who had harmed little Narin. With no evidence pointing to an external perpetrator, police turned their attention to the girl's inner circle. Family member statements presented inconsistencies, and detectives noted that none of their versions fit. The town's security cameras, although limited, showed the vehicle of her uncle, Salim Guran, moving in the area shortly after Narin was last seen. Furthermore, forensic analysis revealed traces of Narin's DNA was found in Salim's car, intensifying suspicions about him. The investigation took a decisive turn when police discovered crucial digital evidence. Detectives managed to recover deleted messages from a family WhatsApp group. These messages revealed that Uncle Salim and brother Baran had coordinated with other family members to provide false alibis and instructions on how they should act and what to say to the police. The content of the messages was a clear indication of an organized conspiracy to cover up the truth and divert the investigation. But the most shocking confession came from a neighbor, Nevzat Bilar, who was initially arrested for lying in his statements. Bilar broke down and confessed his involvement in an act of complicity. In his testimony, he revealed that Uncle Salim, the brother of the girl's father, had coerced him into helping him dispose of the body and had even given him money. Fearing for his own life, Tiller complied. In a harrowing statement, Tiller recounted how Salim had confessed the motive for the crime. "I killed her because he saw the relationship between her mother and me." This testimony, along with forensic and digital evidence, became the centerpiece that tied together all the clues and exposed the dark family secret. The trial against little Narin's mother, older brother, and uncle, the prime suspects, began on November 7, 2024, at the Diyarbakir High Criminal Court. The evidence presented by the prosecution was overwhelming: contradicting testimonies, recovered text messages, and the key testimony of Nevzat Batyar. Despite attempts by the defendants to recant and shift blame, the evidence was overwhelming. The prosecution argued that the murder was a premeditated and ruthless act, intended to silence Narin and protect an illicit relationship that went against the community's strict traditions. On December 28, 2024, the court issued its verdict. Narin's mother, Yüksel Guran, her brother Baran, and her uncle Salamiran were found guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. This is the maximum sentence in Turkey. Accomplice Neps Bakhtiar received a sentence of 4 years and 6 months in prison. For Narin's father, Arif Guran, the verdict marked the end of his search for his daughter, but also the beginning of a painful new reality. Although he himself was released and not charged, he was devastated to discover the betrayal of the people he loved most: his wife, his own brother, and his son. Narin's brother was sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in the crime. The evidence from the WhatsApp messages he coordinated with his uncle to provide false alibi was enough to have him found complicit in his sister's murder. Narin's case is not just the tragic story of an innocent girl. It's a grim reminder that the deepest betrayal often comes from those who are supposed to protect them. The incident shocked Turkey and served as a call for justice for victims of domestic abuse, a problem that often remains hidden behind the facade of normal, everyday life. Narin's memory and the search for justice for her death will resonate for a long time. May this case serve as a warning. Never leave your children completely alone in the hands of others, even those who seem closest to you. You never know what might happen. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you'll subscribe and share it. Until next time, M.